Dan Jaron has shown so much improvement thanks to you and to him. What's the next frontier for him beyond overall consistency and everything? Is there another frontier where you think he could really take another leap?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've discussed it with him. There's some of our plays within our offense. There's multiple options on those plays. Some of the RPO stuff in particular, and he's gotten through phase one, and we haven't got to phase two or phase three on those things yet. And there was a couple opportunities last week that we missed, that we didn't just quite make the right decision because it was maybe a situation that hasn't occurred as much as another one. You know what I mean? So for a young player, those are reps and that's experience. So I think we can get to phase two and phase three on some of the options. I think there's still some times where he's really sure about what he's going to do on the front side of a concept, but we may have what we call a free access throw or an alert throw on the other side, and sometimes we look at it and to confirm whether we have it or not, and sometimes we don't confirm and we do have it and we miss it, if you will. So I think there's just some, just again, next level stuff where he can have the entire offense working for him once he's very comfortable and understands where all the answers are and all the options are. And then, I do think one of the biggest improvements that he's made has been in his fundamentals and his technique, as far as his drops, his pocket posture, his bringing his hips through on the throws. And we were just, again, commenting just this morning because we practiced last night, just watching him function in the pocket is like night and day from where we were in the spring and even during camp. And again, I think that is just a reflection of the volume of reps and him working at it and getting better at it. But he's making a lot of strides, as you mentioned. I totally agree with that. And again, it's exciting because I do think there's areas that we can continue to get better at.
And same thing with Mike Harley. We saw him kind of break out last game. Just in what areas has he improved so that it would show on game day the way it did?
Mike practices very hard. He brings a lot of energy and enthusiasm and passion to the game every day, which is, that's kind of what Coach Diaz has been preaching to our players about, is about playing with energy and passion, and Mike has that. And so he works hard. I think he really struggled at times early in the season being consistent catching the football with hand placement and things like that. And I think that's something that Coach Stubblefield and him have talked a lot about, and he's looked at and done drills and done things to get better at. But I think he's just been much more consistent catching the ball. And, I think that his athleticism is beginning to show, as far as catching the ball on the move and breaking tackles and good run after catch guy. But, I think Mike's a guy that we have a lot of trust in, and we think he can be a really good player. I think early in the season, too, I think sometimes he was trying too hard, if you will, trying to make every play into a big play, and instead of just catching the ball, and sometimes the play's a 6-yard play and just living with it. I think he was, not running north all the time. He was running back towards the line of scrimmage, and I think he's kind of made a commitment to doing what we want him to do as far as running north, catching the ball consistently, and playing really fast. And again, I think he's getting more comfortable with the schemes and the techniques and the adjustments on some of the routes. So it was good to see Mike have a big day because he's such a hard worker and a guy that we love to be around and coach every day.
And just when you look at how far the offensive line has come from the beginning of the year till now, it's kind of like it's really tremendous. Can you just talk about just maybe more specific things that they've gotten better at when you talk about Zion, Ja'Kai Clark, the young guys, and how it could potentially be a strength moving forward, like when you're looking forward to 2020 and moving forward with the young guys? Yeah,
I agree with that. I think we look at it as a potential position of strength in the future and as we move forward. And again, I keep saying it, but Butch Berry deserves a lot of the credit of the development of this group. We got here, we didn't know what we had. We were shuffling guys in and out. Corey Gaynor missed most of the spring. Different guys missed the spring. Navon had to move to center in the spring because of injuries. So didn't get a lot of questions answered really in spring practice, trying to teach a whole new system, terminology, techniques. So I think Butch has really done a tremendous job. But I think that group as a whole is really bought into what he's doing. And I think what you're seeing is a reflection of the volume of reps within the schemes. First and foremost, they understand the run schemes. They're understanding the protections, and then with the techniques and fundamentals that Coach Barry instills in those guys on a daily basis, they're getting better at them. And they're a talented group. They really are. I mean, as I look at them across the board, all 5 of those guys, and then you throw in John Campbell and you throw in Kai, and a couple of these guys, they're long, they have good feet, they have good balance, they can run, they can bend, and so I just think, again, like a guy like Zion, for example, I mean, he's a young player, and you come into college and the amount of schemes that you run compared to high school grows a lot, and then the volume of what you see on defense grows compared to what you see in high school. So I think with him it's just getting more comfortable, and understanding what he has to do and being able to play faster because he's not thinking as much. And the same thing with Ja'Kai. And and Devon Donaldson, I'll give him credit. He's a guy that we pulled out and put John in, and then been going back and forth, and Devon's been playing better too. I think he's got a little fire lit underneath him, and he's been playing better, playing with more power, playing faster. And we're really pleased with the group, and we're really pleased about the future of the group. And I think another off season in the when we get there in the weight room, and then the spring practice, and continue to develop the guys that that aren't playing as much right now. I think, again, I agree with you. I think that the group has a chance to be a strength for us.
Coach Enos, the way the transfer portal has really blown up in the last year or whatever, especially with the quarterback position, and I'm thinking specifically Nkosi. Do you have to sit down with some of these quarterbacks and reassure them that it's worth staying, or is there really nothing much to say with Jaron playing so well?
Well, I think the first thing is that I don't mention or talk to these guys right now anything about that. My job is they're here, and I'm going to coach them, and I'm obviously going to assume that they're going to be here for the long term. And I think Nkosi in particular has handled himself as a true professional this year. I think the guy has done a great job. He didn't win the job. He continued to come in and work every day. Got his opportunity, played, helped us win some games, did a great job, played injured, showed toughness, showed courage, showed he wanted to be a part of this team and help his team win. Got pulled out of a game, and again, he's handled himself like a true pro every day coming over here. So, I think at the end of the season there'll be conversations that'll have to be had with everybody on the team, with the head football coach, and certainly with me, with my position group. But certainly we hope they all decide to stay, because I think they all have value, and I think they all can help us win, and I think they're all great young men, and I think they're all improving. So this is a whole new day, new era. I get it. I'm new to it too. I don't understand the portal really and all that, but I do know that young men want to play. And playing quarterback is maybe the most difficult, because really one guy's going to play, and there might be some really good players that aren't playing because there's a really good player in front of them. But certainly these will be discussions that we had when the season concludes. But like as far as I'm concerned, and I hope they all decide to stay, because again, I think it's a great room, and I think they all have value here.
Dan, it's now been a few games, I think 4 games, where John Campbell's been kind of platooning with Devon Donaldson at left guard. Do you envision him full-time at guard, or could he still kind of go either way between guard and tackle? And also, you mentioned Leon Herbert among those linemen that you noted. Just what more can he do to find the fields? Is it just as simple as Zion Nelson has just done such an exceptional job recently at left tackle?
Yeah, I think the answer to the first question, John is very versatile. I think John gets reps every day at tackle and guard for us, and we think he's a guy that has, again, a lot of value because of that. He could play either one, tackle or guard. John could, and really like his development and how he's continuing to play, and it certainly is an asset. And then Kai really right now is improving and is doing a really good job, and will continue to develop. He really missed the entire offseason with an injury last year. I think So he'll continue to get better and grow. He's a young player, but really it's just because of the continuity of those 5 or 6 guys that we have in there right now. We feel really, really good about, and but certainly Kai's a guy that we think has a very bright future.
Dan, since the opener, we haven't seen a ton of Tate, either as a pure quarterback or in a Wildcat type package. Has that package been still in the forefront of your mind? You just haven't gotten to it in games? Where does that stand?
Well, I think Tate has had, some issues here and there, and things of that nature that he's been going through, and we're obviously here to support him. And we had a package last week that was ready for him to, and we didn't just get to it. It wasn't anything that he did or didn't do, but certainly again, I think Tate's a guy now that he's kind of settled into where he's going to be. He's kind of had a little bit of a roller coaster situation about positions and things like that. And again, but he's been a guy the last couple of weeks has practiced really hard and been really diligent about his preparation. And again, I think that we'll always have some things in there that we can do with him, and it'll be kind of how the flow of the game goes. And if we think we need to do it, we'll use it. If not, just continue to work it. Great. Thank you.